Okay, so today we start in a unit, which is a business intelligence system, BI. So since we start in a new unit, as we all know, we will have a unit aim. Then the unit have 20 credits. And the way the student will be assessed is by completing an assignment, which is graded with pass, merit, and distinction grade. And from our indicative content today, we're going to understand the characteristic of business intelligence system. By the characteristic, we're going to discuss about the features, data, information, knowledge, and also we're going to cover hosting and storing methods with platform as a service, software as a service, infrastructure as a service, and then we'll conclude with the common problems which might occur, such as data entry errors, human errors, bugs, and security breach and data breach. So coming to our presentation, as I've already introduced, the unit aims to help the learner develop an understanding of business intelligence system and the benefit of using such systems for an organizational point of view. Also, the learner will focus on the key areas within the business intelligence system and develop an understanding of why business intelligence plays a fundamental role in organizational strategic planning. So for today's session, I've already introduced the indicative content. And what we will learn from today is that business intelligence information organization supports and facilitates better business decisions. Also, it provides analytical and analysis on data sets. It establishes trends, increase productivity and efficiency, increase visibility of data, process, and information. So the purpose of using business intelligence systems are to reduce cost, identify new business opportunity, identify business process for re-engineering, and centralize data information. So what we need to understand is that all this data, which is really unstructured, when we use this business process model in systems, will allow us to structure our data for the business. So once the business have loads of information, by using this technology, it will be easier for them to structure and work more efficiently, which will bring a loads of benefits by doing so. So we can now look into a couple of definitions, key terminology. So by business intelligence system, we can now understand that it combines data gathering, data storage, knowledge, and knowledge management with the data analysis, which will evaluate and transform complex data into meaningful, actionable information, and which will also be used to support more efficient strategies, tactical and operational insights, and also decision making. As we can see from the picture, example of BI tools which will be used are like data warehouses, dashboard, reports, also data discovery tools, and cloud data services. So these tools might make it possible to extract and insights the data. So as we can see here, there's an example of a big brand such as Netflix, and the image shows how they use the tool to complete the business intelligence analysis, where we can see these tools such as Hadoop and Teradata. We will now, this open source, they'll now gather all this information, store them, and process them. So we can now see a couple of examples of tools and applications that are used, such as ad hoc analytics, online analytic process, OLAP, real-time business intelligence, mobile business intelligence, and all these applications. So now we can look into a video which will give us an explanation of BI system. Let me just
Business intelligence is a technology-driven process of analyzing data and presenting actionable information to executives for decision-making. It combines a variety of tools, technologies, and methods with the intent of driving positive change and boosting company performance. BI encompasses a variety of analytics processes, including data mining, predictive analysis, text mining, statistical analysis, and big data analytics, as well as reporting processes and tools like data visualization software, key performance indicators, performance benchmarking, and querying. By improving access to a company's data, BI can increase overall profitability through effective decision-making and optimize internal processes, as well as by helping businesses discover new revenues, identify market trends, and spot business problems. BI is often used interchangeably with business analytics, but there are differences. Typically, BI uses both past and current data to inform current decisions for current success, while business analytics uses past data to explain current data and predict what will happen in the future. In other words, BI addresses the what and how, while business analytics addresses the why and what next.
So this video gave us a good explanation about what is business intelligence, and also what's the difference between business analytics and business intelligence. So as we all know, we can use a quick example where for example, in a grocery stores, there are loads of items in the grocery stores. So for us, in order to find what we need, without asking someone that works there, we can follow IOs. So the IOs are really structured, and they have the name for each item, for each sector of product. That's how, for example, a store can structure the data. And this concept applies into business intelligence, where the goal, the aim is to provide really organized procedures to follow in order for the company, the organization to extract this data, quickly find the data and process it. So now we're going to examine a couple of the features of business intelligence system, where where the important thing that we have to know is that it assists managers and other professionals in the analysis of current and past activities and prediction of future events. So this definition is more related for business analytics, while to put in simply business intelligence with the help of BI architecture incorporates all the technologies and methods to analyze data belonging to the business. So as we saw from the video, with business analysis, we can now extract existing data and process it, which will be more related to data analytics. While with business intelligence, we just figuring out how we have to use this data and what are the beneficial of the business intelligence system. So this example shows how the information which is being handled by individuals within organization is now stored into our business intelligence system. So such as this system can be data warehouse, where from the name we can already imagine is, say for instance, you have a warehouse with massive loads of items. This is the same concept of extracting data, where all this data is stored in a massive storage, and it has to be extracted in order for us to process it, analyze it, and create models. So a couple of the features, characteristic of BI system is that we can now interface with unstructured data stores, multiplication, aggregation and allocation, version control and process management, statistical conclusion and probabilitics simulation, and many other advantages such as real-time reporting with analytical alerts. So we now put down all of them where we can explain them. So if we look into real-time business intelligence reporting with analytical alerts, this is simply a technique which is enabling a user to receive the data which has just emerged on the information about the operation that has just been taking place. So the benefit is the fast-track reporting will alert about process performance indicators, which is making it possible to launch an immediate promotion and take advantage of ongoing situation. Also, other benefits are other characteristics are demonstration, targeting, and standardization, where for the first one, is simply applied to a formally normalized database to improve performance, leading to joint number reduction and operation speeding up. While maybe standardization, which is the technique in which files are initially processed, assigned to application database record fields, and being converted into a unique format. So there are various benefits of various characteristics of business intelligence, which a company can benefit for using them. Other beneficials is like using dashboard, not just data warehouse, but there is also dashboards where we can see personalized dashboard. They can deliver relevant real-time data. Yeah.
One thing. So
Yeah.
would you be creating a dashboard and demonstrating how that works?
With a tutorial, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, if you can open a BI tool and create a dashboard and just showcase how that works and all of that. Would you be covering that as well?
I can prepare this for the next tutorial, because
Okay, no problem.
for today tutorial just prepared the theoretical part
Oh,
rather than
that's fine.
okay. As we were talking, as we were explaining, there are several beneficials such as dashboard. Also, the other benefit is that we can now have predictive analysis, predictive analytics, which is the idea that we can now use the combination of data, statistical algorithms, and machine learning techniques to put ourselves in a better position where we can now identify probability of future outcomes. So, for example, coming back to the example of our shop, whenever we buy a couple of items, by using this predictive data analytics, we can now predict what a customer will end up buying. Say, for example, if someone buy milk, by conducting some statistic and probability, we can now find out what could be the next item that can be purchased by our customer. So there are different type of analytics. For example, there are descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive, which all of them have a specific aim in order for us to achieve the goal, our established target. So now we come in to analyze the difference and interrelation between data. So what we need to understand that people always think that data and information are the same, but there are slightly difference between them. And now we're going to look into them, where by the concept of data, it simply refers to as raw data. So by raw data is a collection of text, numbers, and symbols with no meaning. So we gathering loads of information, which is unstructured. So data therefore has to be processed or provided with a context before it can be meaningful. So as explained, there's always confusion between data and information, where information is the result of processing data using usually by computer. So by information, we could be name of a person, age, or any useful information about them. And information assigns meaning and improves the reliability of the data. So by collecting all of them and structuring them, we can now have structured data. While knowledge is simply the combination of information, experience, and insight that helps the individuals on the organization. So this knowledge of situation makes it possible to make informed decision and solves problems. So by having this structured data, we can now have useful skills for problem solving and easily come up with the best solution for our problems. So this image can now explain, can now summarize the difference between them. So data a separate of disorganized piece of information are called data. Data is information, while information, the streamlined pattern of data is called information, and knowledge, the knowledge of well-organized body of information is called knowledge. Also, important characteristics is wisdom, which is when wisdom is when you now have to apply your knowledge in benefit of the others. So it's simply the action of using what we've learned in order to provide good examples, good advice. So knowledge, wisdom can see at the top of this hierarchy. When we start with data, we move into information, and we have knowledge, and we now conclude with wisdom. Now we're coming into evaluating how hosting and storing methods for business intelligence system. So as we introduced before, there is infrastructure for as a service and other tools. So some options for BI, as I mentioned before, is some of these softwares which they're struggling to make their own solution more robust and easy accessible and effective. That's why we need these useful storing methods, such as cloud-based business intelligence solution, which will help organization with irrespective of the size, and also the use of big data will be really useful. So the benefits of using a cloud solution will now reduce the implementation time. We can now advance of mobility and high adoption, where it can now help the decision maker stay connected to the customer in real time. So by this means that the team can access a cloud business intelligence platform from anywhere around the world, and without having to think about accessibility issues, and provide real-time support for the customers. Also, the benefits of using cloud solution based is scalability, where we can now, our application can now help in increased users adoption with ease with the changing requirements. So this cloud BI, which is now offering scalability beyond this definition. Also, we have reliability, where this solution can now provide excellent reliability, and it can now improve our system in order for us to in order for the company, the organization, to achieve their goals. Another benefits are low cost, where the solution generates a maximum business value by enabling employees with self-service analytics, providing IT with the scalability and flexibility which it needs to reduce and maintain the security costs. So there are, as we mentioned before, there is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So the benefits of using these models is that we can now virtualize and scalable cloud, which are offering fundamentals infrastructure components over the internet, including servers, storage, and network. So these are really good benefits of using these platforms. Also, platform as a service, which is also another type of cloud-based service, and it provides a specific software for platform ATHE under the underlining the infrastructure. So the benefits is that it's going to increasingly popular approach, sacrifice some control and greatly reduce the maintenance requirements and costs. While software as a service, this solution, which is now infrastructure to manage, and now software to install or update, and there's no significant application development requirements, is a cloud model, and it goes one step further than the previous two to complete software application delivered over the internet. So we do have a couple of comparison between these services, and what happens. We can see for the hardware part, and also we can see the features of infrastructure configuration and maintenance. Also, for a business intelligence platform, configuration and maintenance. So there are several comparison between them, which we'll look into more details in the next tutorials. So as we mentioned before, there are several aspects that have to be taken into consideration when common problems occur. So we have to look into how we can now reduce these errors. So, for instance, if a company which is using a software such as a CRM software, which is customer relationship management tool, for example, coming back to the store one, to our shop, the company can now use a Salesforce CRM tool, which will now use the performance dashboard to look into how clients are buying items and what the probability of them to buy a new item. And such a common error that might occur might be due to duplication, where, for instance, there might be having human errors where we insert in the same data again. So we now running into duplicating the same values, but through algorithms and using these softwares, we can now avoid producing this human error. So, for example, these features is available even in Microsoft Excel. So, for example, when the same field has been added twice, we can now check if data has been duplicated, and we can now delete this and reduce the human error. So there is also unstructured data, where by having unstructured data. For example, if an address does not contain a postcode or a zip code at all, the remaining details might be a little interest, because it will be challenging to determine the geographical dimension. So by not collecting all the useful data, we can now run into complication and delaying the time frames in order for us to achieve our task. So by having unstructured data is not really useful. So we have to now look into closing these gaps. Also, we need to look into security issues, where the industry and regulatory standards such as HIPPA or PCI data security standard, where data security and compliance requirements come from different sources. And now they will also include organizational requirements. So by failure to doing so, to complying with these rules, can result in very heavy fines and sanctions, which can now compromise and affect your annual profit. So other characteristic could be hidden data, where most companies are usually they only use 20% of the data, which is making the business intelligent decision, and leaving the other 80% sitting there without using them. This data will end up by being meaningless and not being processed. Also, we have to look into inaccurate data, whereby gathering all this hidden data and not being processed, now it becomes redundant, and you end up being useless. So now we're going to evaluate the benefit of using a cloud-based intelligence, where we're now able to improve upon operation efficiency and data analysis, while also reducing the costs. So I shared a couple of articles here, which will give us a more understanding of these evaluations. So if we look into one of them, open this one. We run into 404 error. So we will look into them in the next tutorial. Also, now we're going to look into. Do you have any question, DiC?
No, please go on.
Okay. Also, there is we're going to look at the advantages of cloud-based business intelligence, where we can now we have a couple of them listed here. These benefits are cost saving, security, flexibility, mobility, insight, increased collaboration, quality control, disaster recovery, loss prevention, automatic software updates, competitive edge, and sustainability. Also, we're going to look how business intelligence is using business application, where they utilize a range of data analytics tools that are designed to analyze and manage data related to the business operation. So depending on the nature of the business, we now have the related applications. These applications might be sales intelligence, visualization, reporting, performance management, and many others, as I said, depending on the nature of the business. And as we mentioned at the beginning, there are specific business intelligence technologies that are going to be useful. And here is a list of them. So we can also look into this. I keep on to errors. I cannot find the page.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
these are some old URLs maybe. I've
Yeah.
got changed.
Yeah, so this is everything for today. We just covered our given learning outcomes, where we now have an understanding of what is features and the type of applications that are being used. Is there any question for me?
No further question, Victor.
Okay. So in tomorrow's session, we're going to focus on understand organization need for business intelligence system. So we're going to look into the purpose, we're going to look into the solutions, and also the business intelligence information within organizations. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
In tomorrow's session, you will be giving me a quick demo of how you.
Yeah,
okay.
I will look into a practical session as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.